we are United States citizens, and if the United States comes down against Bitcoin in a significant way, that will make our lives far more difficult, right? You don't have to like ban Bitcoin if you just create crazy, as a random example, like tax structures around it, right? Or laws around it. And so it's important because it really is this game-changing technology, and we want to be driving forward towards this hyper Bitcoinized world as rapidly as possible, not mired in the mud. That'd be my thought.
Yeah, that's really well said. And I mean, of course, TikTok, next block, and China. What's interesting about it is Cambridge is now showing 20% of all hash rate is in China. I mean, 20% of all hash rate, and it's illegal to mine there. That's phenomenal. How much money is held in China in Bitcoin and is being used to circumvent capital controls? I would guess a lot. I mean, it's just amazing. And yes, Bitcoin will survive, but I actually think that why we are so far behind the ball, a lot of it has to do with the attitude that government doesn't matter and we'll just do our thing. That's why we haven't put the energy into communicating, educating, and building relationships with lawmakers. It's because we're like, screw them. We'll just it's cypherpunk's right code. And that's what we'll do. We'll build an independent system. But when everybody's thinking like that, nobody talks to the lawmakers. But guess who is talking to the lawmakers? Shitcoiners. Shitcoiners are all up in their offices. And they get to spin the narrative. If you don't control your own narrative, they do. Okay, why do we care? Just as you said, I don't just want Bitcoin to succeed. I want it to succeed here and now. I mean, think about it. Bitcoin is our bid for freedom money. It is our chance to empower the many rather than the few. Our current system empowers a few central bankers, the 1% of the wealthy, people in positions to make decisions about money get the reward. It's Cantillon effect. Okay, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Bitcoin fixes this. But think about these alternative histories. The one where we actually, in the next 6 years, educate people about Bitcoin, both making policy and in the world of finance, and people at large, the citizenry who elect those politicians. And we get them fired up and we get them to see what free and neutral and fair money could do for them. That's the one history, like right here in America. And the other history is where the shitcoiners have their say and they win the political battle and they win the financial battle. And we get the rhetoric of freedom, but we get the reality of continued financial servitude, where instead of the central bankers, it's Vitalik and friends. Instead of the central bankers, it's the VCs in Silicon Valley behind Solana, and it's Polygon and whatever. You know what I mean? And then we suffer through that while eventually people come to see, oh, this is also centralized and unfair, and oh, this is kind of a Ponzi, and maybe it collapses, or maybe it gets captured by the state. And then we're like, oh, we're right back where we began. And of course, Bitcoin is ticking along this whole time, but as a marginal player, at most taking the market cap of gold, rather than serving as a global monetary asset, a global reserve asset, accessible to everyone, and which functions as a savings device for everyone. Instead, people get fooled into this alternate reality, and we have decades to sort it out. I want path 1 rather than path 2. And so that means I have to act right now to do my best to bring that reality about. I mean, I think, the slogan of Bitcoin is inevitable. To me, I don't like the slogan. It's like,
I agree.
It's an excuse for laziness to me. It's like, what does it mean for Bitcoin to succeed? It means each individual makes individual decisions to adopt it. Okay? It's one by one, person by person by person. Bitcoin doesn't adopt itself. It doesn't adopt itself. We adopt it.